Jioni, or in other words, hello from morning until noon in the language of Yoruba. My name is Miss Jessica. I'm a teaching artist with School Aid, and today we're going to be learning about Nigeria, which is a country located in Africa. We're going to be reading a story together, we're going to be learning a little bit of language, and we're also going to be moving some because I'm sure you guys are a little antsy at home. So to start with, let me just tell you what the flag represents. I always like to do that. Green represents the natural wealth of the country, and white represents peace. This flag was adopted in 1959. Now we're going to dive into our story today. It's called Why the Sky is Far Away. This is a Nigerian folk tale. It's nearly 500 years old. Originally this was told by the Bini people, which was a tribe in Nigeria. And I feel like this is a very interesting story really anytime, but maybe more so right now with everything that's going on. This story talks about what happens when people are wasteful and don't respect the environment. As many of you have probably heard in the news, because a lot of people are forced to stay at home right now, pollution has been significantly reduced. Please excuse my cat, he might come in and out. Pollution has been significantly reduced in many places around the world. So I thought this would be kind of a cool story to do today. Just as a reminder of how we need to respect the environment, and also how we need to make sure that we share resources with other people and take care of one another. In the beginning, the sky was very close to the earth. In that time, men and women did not have to sow crops and harvest them. They did not have to prepare soup and cook rice. The children did not have to carry water from the stream or gather sticks from the fire. Anybody who was hungry just reached up, took a piece of sky, and ate it. It was delicious too. Sometimes the sky tasted like meat stew, sometimes like roasted corn, and sometimes like ripe pineapple. There was very little work to do, so people spent their time weaving beautiful cloth, carving handsome statues, and retelling tales of adventures. And there were always festivals to prepare for. The musicians practiced, the mask makers carved their masks in secret, and everywhere the children watched the preparations in wonder. The king of the land was called the Oba, and his court was magnificent. At the royal palace was a team of servants whose only work was to cut and shape the sky for ceremonies. You can see we've got a fish and pineapple and a carrot. But the sky was growing angry because people were wasteful. Most often they took more than they could possibly eat and threw the leftovers into garbage heaps. I am tired of seeing myself soured and spoiled on every rubbish bin in the land, brooded the sky. So one morning at sunrise, the sky turned very dark. Thick black clouds gathered over the Oba's palace, and a great voice boomed out from above. Oba, mighty one, your people have wasted my gifts. I am tired of seeing myself on heaps of garbage everywhere. I warn you, do not waste my gifts any longer, or they will no longer be yours. The Oba, in terror, sent messengers carrying the sky's warning to every corner of the land. In every village, people were told about the sky's unhappiness. The children were warned never to take a piece of sky unless they were truly hungry. You can see the Oba there warning people. People were very, very careful. That is, for a while. Then the time arrived for the greatest festival of the year. It was the festival that celebrated the power of the Oba. The most important palace dancers performed all through the night, and the Oba himself, in ceremonial robes, danced for his subjects. By the 5th day, there was rejoicing in every home and on every street. The Oba knew, though, that with the dancing and merriment, people might forget the sky's warning. So he made sure no one took more sky than he or she absolutely needed. Now, there was a woman in this kingdom who was never satisfied. She could barely move when she wore all the weighty coral necklaces her husband had bought her, but she still craved more necklaces. She had 11 children of her own, but she felt her house was empty. And most of all, Adis loved to eat. On the very last night of the celebration, Adis and her husband were invited to the Oba's palace. There they danced and ate well past midnight. What an evening it was, Adis thought later, standing in her own garden again. How I wish I could relive tonight. The drumming I heard, the riches I saw, the food I ate. She looked up at the sky and, hoping to taste again the cocoa yams and meat stew the sky had offered, she took a huge piece to eat. She had only finished 1/3 of it when she could swallow no more. "What have I done?" wailed Adis. "I cannot throw this away. Otolo!" she screamed, calling her husband. "Come and finish this piece of sky for me." Her husband, exhausted from all of the dancing and stuffed with the sky he had eaten at the Oba's palace, could only take 2 bites. "Wake the children!" screamed Adis. Now the children had spent all night at a masquerade and party after their dinner, and most of them were still too full to even nibble at their mother's piece of sky. So here she is, trying to offer the piece to her family. You can see her husband says no. Even the cat doesn't want it. Now I think my cat would probably always eat, but nobody wants any. They're too full. The neighbors were called, and the neighbors' neighbors were called, but Adis still held in her hand a big chunk of sky. What does it matter, she said finally. One more piece of sky on a rubbish heap. And just to make sure it didn't matter, she buried the leftover in the garbage bin in the back of her house. Well, suddenly, the ground shook with thunder. Lightning creased the sky above Oba's palace, but no rain fell. "Oba, mighty one," boomed a voice from above. "Your people have not treated me with respect. Now I will leave you and move far away." "But what will we eat?" cried the Oba. "How will we live?" "You must learn how to plow the land and gather crops and hunt in the forests," answered the sky. "Perhaps through your own labor you will learn not to waste the gifts of nature." No one in the land slept very well that night. The rising sun uncovered the heads of men and women and children, peering over rooftops and through windows, straining to see if the sky had really left them. It truly had. It had sailed upward, far out of their reach. From that day onward, men and women and children had to grow their own food. They tilled the land, planted crops, and harvested them, and far above them rested the sky, distant and blue, just as it is today. Okay, for the second part of our lesson on Nigeria today, we're going to do some African animal yoga. So yoga is a great way to get your body moving, especially when you're stuck at home. Doesn't require a lot of space, and these are easy enough. Anybody in the family can probably do these, from toddlers all the way to seniors. So we're going to start with a giraffe pose, which is actually an extended mountain pose. Got some music going on in the background to set the mood, so let's go. All right, so my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to stretch my arms straight up like a giraffe. And if you want, your giraffe can nibble the leaves on the trees. Stretch as far as you can. Feel it all the way through your back. Now we're going to drop down like an elephant trunk. So grasp your hands together, and we're just going to bend from the waist and let your trunk swing back and forth. Back and forth. Good job. All right, let's go back to our giraffe. Stretch. Grab those leaves. Great job. All right, now we've got a little tricky one. This is our ostrich, which is actually called a dancer's pose. You're going to grab one of your ankles and stretch your opposite arm straight out and bend if you can. Woo! Just hold. Awesome. Let's try the other way. Woo! Stretch straight out and then bend. It's for our ostrich, one of our Nigerian animals. Great job. All right, let's go back to that giraffe. Stretch. Grab those leaves. Now it's time to get a little lazy. One of my favorite yoga poses, the child's pose. So this is our lazy hippo. We're going to come down to the ground. Okay? Hands down at your side, and we're just going to rest our forehead on the floor very gently. Just let your arms kind of drop down. You'll feel the stretch in your upper back. Don't forget to breathe. Excellent. Come up real slowly. That's a great one. And then we're also going to do a cat pose. This is for our leopard. So up on hands and knees like this. And we're going to pull our stomach in, round our back, head under, and release. Tuck in again. And down. And here comes the cat for the cat pose. Hey, Gravy. In. Animals are loving all this time at home. And one more time. And release. Great job. Let's go back up to our giraffe. Stretch tall for me. Woo! Great job. The last part of our lesson on Nigeria today is going to be learning how to say the parts of your body in Yoruba, which is the language of Nigeria. So to start with, parts of my body is Eya, Ara, Mi. Eya, Ara, Mi. Parts of my body, Eya, Ara, Mi. We're going to start with our hands. Hands are Owo. Owo. Good. Hands. Head is Ori. Ori. Good. So now we have Owo and Ori. Great job. Next, our ears. Eti. Eti. Good. Eti, ears. Teeth. Teeth are Eni. 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 Good job. And then our nose. Emu. Emu. Good. Emu. How about our eyes? Oju. Oju. Good. Oju, eyes. Two more. Mouth is Inu. last one, my favorite, our belly. Ikun. Ikun. That's right. Ikun. Pat your ikun. Woo! All right. So we're going to go through all of them together, and then I want to teach you a fun little song. I will see if I can include the link below to this so you can do this on YouTube as well. It's really fun. So we start with Ella ara mi, parts of my body. Ella ara mi. O wo. O ri. E ti. Eni. Imu. Oju. Inu. Ikun. You got it. Freestyle here. Here we go.
All right, let's go. Yo, kids, come and do this. Rock with me and learn Yoruba. It's pretty easy. It's all about the parts of your body, and in Yoruba, it's Eya ara mi, parts of my body.
Parts of my body,
Eya ara mi,
Eya ara mi,
parts of my body.
parts of my body,
Eya ara mi,
Eya ara mi,
ọwọ́,
ọwọ́,
orí,
orí,
etí,
etí,
eyín,
ẹ̀yìn,
imú,
imú,
ojú,
ojú,
ẹnu,
ẹnu,
ikùn,
ikùn,
ọwọ́,
ọwọ́,
orí,
orí,
etí,
etí,
eyín,
ẹ̀yìn,
imú,
imú,
ojú,
ojú,
ẹnu,
ẹnu,
ikùn.
ikùn.
Parts of my body,
Parts of my body,
ẹ̀yà ara mi.
ẹ̀yà ara mi.
Parts of my body,
Parts of my body,
ẹ̀yà ara mi.
ẹ̀yà ara mi.
Now that's your body parts in Yoruba. But you what you now say a bit better. This is your boy here, all the fella. Until next time, I say
Audible. Everybody stay